Why does Telugu sound so musical? I mean, I probably wouldn't even be able to tell it if I heard it. I know what's not Hindi, and that's about it. That's the extent of my knowledge.
నిన్ను చూస్తూ ఉంటే కన్నలు రెండు తిప్పేస్తావే నీ చూపులపైనే రెప్పలు వేసి కప్పేస్తావే కనిపించని దేవుణ్ణి కన్నార్పక చూస్తావే కన్నుల ఎదుటే నేనుంటే కాదనుటున్నావే చూపే బంగారమాయనే శ్రీవల్లి మాటే మాణిక్యమాయనే చూపే బంగారమాయనే శ్రీవల్లి నవ్వే నవరత్నమాయనే.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. This just sounds like music to me. I don't think like even Arabic, which it's too throaty for me. It doesn't sound musical. But yet, one of my favorite songs to come out recently was from Durandar, which is an Arabic song. So in the end, I don't think it actually has to do with language. It has to do with, well, yeah, the vocals and how you execute a song. Like literally, there's like spoken poetry where it's like you're speaking, but there's like music in the background, a rhythm, a cadence to how you're speaking that actually give it a tone. Like what is it? I forgot. It was Gorillaz, and they had a song like that. Or like 21 Pilots, like Car Radio or Stressed Out. I think it's Stressed Out, where it's primarily that spoken word type of song. I mean, it's spoken word, but yet it's still music.
नमस्कारम स्नेहितुलु आज हम बात करने वाले एक ऐसी भाषा के बारे में which in my opinion is one of the most musical languages of India.
तेलुगु.
तमिल.
तमिल नहीं, तेलुगु.
हाँ वही. तमिल और तेलुगु में कितना फर्क है?
उतना ही जितना पंजाबी और बिहारी में है.
Exactly. They're all the same to me. It's all the same. It's all the same.
ऐसा बस मैं नहीं कहता कि Telugu is a musical language. In the book The Man Who Knew Infinity, the author writes, Ramanujan's native language was Tamil, one of a family of Dravidian languages that includes Malayalam, Canarese, and the musical sounding Telugu. Hindi, Bangla और मराठी के बाद Telugu is the fourth most spoken language of India. Telugu is also the fastest growing language of the United States. Telugu speakers have seen a rise of about 150%.
Yeah, that already makes me not want to pay attention. I don't believe it should be spoken anywhere in the US. Anywhere. I'm against any other, like, people can speak it in their own home, sure. I mean, I grew up speaking Spanish first, but you know what? When I went outside, I had to speak English. You know why? Because it's the tongue that's spoken in the nation. It's disrespectful for me to go outside and speak Spanish to an American store clerk and expect them to understand me. I mean, that's incredibly disrespectful and very, very self-centered of me to think I'm the center character here. It's like, no, I hate how they have like, oh, translator, we need a like, No place needs a translator. If they're too stupid to understand where the cabinet aisle is in a store, they shouldn't be in that store.
In the last 6 years, तेलुगु के प्रशंसक देश विदेश सब तरफ आपको मिलेंगे. 1420 में जब इटालियन एक्सप्लोरर निकोलो दी कॉन्ती इंडिया को आए, he was so mesmerized with the Telugu language, he called it the Italian of the East. टैगोर ने एक बार तेलुगु सुनते हुए कमेंट किया था, इज दिस अ लैंग्वेज और अ म्यूजिक? कार्नेटिक म्यूजिक स्टाइल में भी तेलुगु का एक बहुत बड़ा रोल रहा है. तेलुगु कीर्तन्स इतने पॉपुलर हैं कि आज भी तमिलनाडु और कर्नाटका के टेम्पल्स में तेलुगु कीर्तन्स ही परफॉर्म किए जाते हैं. तमिल पोएट भारतीय ने तेलुगु के इस सौंदर्य को अपने इस तमिल सॉन्ग में ब्यूटीफुली कैप्चर किया था.
सिंधु नदी में से नीलवी नीले.
It's disrespectful on stolen land. True. Oh, yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, that like when Britain had taken over, or they never really took over India. They enslaved India. And then it was English that had to be spoken. I mean, how and then finally India gets its freedom once again and partitions itself. And then what happens? There's no structure in language. And there's no unity around because guess what? There were a bunch of skirmishes that were going on before Britain invade that just continued on when Britain left. And they're fighting over the stolen land, which is Kashmir, the stolen land, which is Pakistan, the stolen land, which is India. Yeah, it's just, no matter what, everywhere is stolen land. It's where it's civilized that really matters. It's funny because my wife used to sympathize with like the Native Americans, and then she watched a movie and was like, oh, I don't care for them as much anymore. It's like, yeah, that stolen land this topic is incredibly ridiculous. I mean, if something happens in recent history, it makes sense. Like, look at Kashmir. That just makes sense why people are enraged. But the U.S. has been here for over 200 years now. There's no kind of discussion there. Hello, bro. Don't get angry. You are unemployed. No, I'm not unemployed. I wish I was. But yeah, it's just a weird argument I've always seen. I mean, because that's the thing. It's just like in Kashmir, my wife was chased out, well, the family has been chased out of there, owns land there, but you can't go there and build there because it would get destroyed because the neighbor would believe it to be theirs instead of yours. And it's just like the whole thing is just a stolen land. But give it a few hundred years, 200 years of them colonizing the entire area, maybe modernizing it a bit, and it will change over time. There would still be tension, but it will change over time. That's just how it works.
சேரணநாட்டிளம் பெண்களுடனே சுந்தர தெலுங்கினில் பாட்டிசைத்து தோணிகளோட்டி விளையாடி வரும்.
आप कह सकते हैं कि जो स्टेटस नॉर्थ इंडिया में बंगाली का है, being considered to be a sweet language, वही स्टेटस तेलुगु का साउथ इंडिया में है. विजय
I wouldn't. Oh my gosh, I wouldn't consider. Then again, I don't understand what's being spoken. I mean, some of them, isn't that like east? Yeah, it's East India, not north. But you know, anything past a certain point is North India to everyone in South. Yeah, that's kind of what I've come to understand. It's like there's a certain line that's been drawn in India where anyone below that line views everything above. Like, look at the America. Anything below the U.S. is Mexico. It doesn't matter if it's Brazil, Cuba, Venezuela, Argentina. It doesn't matter. They are all Mexico. That's just how it is. It's kind of the same thing in India. Anything above a certain kind of state is all North India. It doesn't matter if it's east, doesn't matter if it's west. It's all North India. It's the same. Oh, because I always, anyone south of the American border is Mexican. I don't care. I don't care if you speak Portuguese or Portuguese or Spanish. You're Mexican.
नगर किंगडम के शासक श्री कृष्ण देव राय भी तेलुगु के एक बहुत बड़े प्रशंसक थे. He was principally a speaker of Tulu and Kannada, but जब उन्हें अपना फर्स्ट एपिक पोएम अमुक्त माल्यदा लिखना था, he chose Telugu. जब उनको पूछा गया कि bro, you are a Kannada
Aryan, you don't have a place to stand. I'm a descendant of a Native American. My grandmother, my father's Hispanic. Yeah, my wife is a pundit. So, yeah, you need to stop. You keep trying to start this argument where you have no footing. You have no footing. You lose before you start. He's doing it again. He's trying to do the same argument as before. I'm not lying about my family lineage if you're trying to catch me in a lie. I'm not lying about my family lineage because it's my family lineage. I know it for a fact.
speaker. Why did you choose Telugu? तब उन्होंने जवाब दिया,
తెలుగదేలయన్న దేశంబు తెలుగు ఏను తెలుగు వల్ల భుండ తెలుగు కండ ఎల్ల నృపుల గొలువ ఎరుగవే వాసాడి దేశ భాషలందు తెలుగు లెస్స.
So स्नेहितुलु, इस वीडियो में हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे what is it about the Telugu language that made so many people its fans. What is this musicality जिसके सब कोई दीवाने थे. सरे start చేద్దాం.
It's funny, the only thing I heard a lot in the last song was like Telugu. He just kept saying it over and over again. It's like, okay.
యమునా తటిలో నల్లనయ్యకై ఎదురు చూసి
thanks for becoming a member. I'm trying to get more stuff out. Yeah, my stream bot's
The first
not
thing I noticed
working.
about Telugu is that इसका हर word ना एक vowel paired होता है. यमुना, तटीलो, एडुरु, चूसेना are all vowel endings. तेलुगु में consonants को कहते हैं हल्लुलु और vowels को कहते हैं अच्छुलु. And because हर शब्द का अंत एक अच्छुलु से होता है, Telugu is also called the Achanta language or the Ajanta भाषा. इसी reason that it is so easy to compose poems in Telugu, since the end sound
Yeah,
of
because
each word
they
can only
all
be a vowel.
end.
The probability that any two words picked in Telugu at random can rhyme with each other, it's pretty high. For example, wind को तेलुगु में कहते हैं गाली.
But then that makes it not a talent for poetry. If every 5 words is gonna rhyme very easily, then it's not a talent to write poetry if it's gonna be poetic to begin with. I don't know. I think there has to be like an intent into poetry, which gives it more strength than you're just speaking. Like there are times where I'm reading a book and then I'll be like, oh my gosh, the last paragraph was all like a rhyming kind of cadence to it. I loved it. I was like, did they do this intentional? And I continue and go like, oh, it was just a fluke. It was just a fluke. But it sticks out to me because it's so rare. And it just was like, it just felt like it flowed so naturally that you get in a rhythm where you're like, oh, da 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 da, dee dee da da, da 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 da, dee 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 da. Kind of like following it along. And it's just like, I love that. I freaking love that.
जबकि तमिल में कहते हैं काट्र.
Oh, thank you for
श्री कृष्ण को
becoming a
तेलुगु में
member.
कहते हैं कृष्णडु, but तमिल में कृष्णन. ठंड को
Trying
तेलुगु
to
में
get some
कहते हैं
stuff out.
चल्लनी,
Did you
but
fix it?
तमिल में कुलिर. और बच्चों को यानी चिल्ड्रन को तेलुगु में कहते हैं पिल्ललु, जबकि तमिल में पुरेंदगड़. I hope आप intuitively feel कर पा रहे हो कैसे Telugu is custom designed for poetry. This was also why Niccolo di Conti considered Telugu as the Italian of the East, because Italian also shows this vowel ending property. Both these languages also use a lot of these t or chi sounds like putti, netti, spaghetti, confetti, and gurenchi, pachi, arrivederci. Linguistics wise, Telugu belongs to the Dravidian family.
I liked what he was doing there. Just introduce a sprinkle of Italian. That's fun. He was playful.
सेम फैमिली जिसको तमिल, कन्नड़ा और मलयालम बिलोंग करते हैं. बहुत सारे लोग एक फेयर क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं कि तेलुगु में तो इतने सारे संस्कृत वर्ड्स हैं, अगर आप कोई तेलुगु कीर्तन पढ़ोगे,
Low key, if you're defending settler colonialism, you're basically saying what I'm saying is I have no guilt for my ancestors. Why would I lay claim to what my ancestors did? That's like saying, your great-great-grandparents most likely killed somebody. Why don't you feel guilty for your great-great-grandparents killing somebody? It doesn't matter to you. It doesn't affect your life whatsoever. Your argument doesn't work. Yeah, his argument is non-existent. It's so funny how he always shows up. I swear he's trolling on purpose. There's no way he thinks what he's saying actually makes any sense because he's saying like the exodus of the Kashmiri Pandits was fine. It's just like, no, because that's something that actually takes effect. A what? A toddler? Probably. It's just like, come on. There's no way you're discussing like this again. You're trolling me. I know you are. There's no way you believe anything you're saying because it's crazy. It's crazy. Yeah. Thanks for coming to remember. Oh,
find
every
most of the
time.
sounds
Every
very
time.
much like Sanskrit. So हम ये कैसे कह सकते हैं कि तेलुगु का संस्कृत के साथ कोई कनेक्शन नहीं है? Well guys, I hear you. But linguistics में हम कभी nouns के basis पे languages को classify नहीं करते. हमें language के core skeleton में झांकना होगा. Note कीजिए कैसे the root word of to in all the Sanskritic languages.
But I guess it makes sense if people go to a place and people are just talking to them. They hear talking around and like almost everything sounds like it's ending on a note which rhymes with another note someone else was saying. So you would see why it would be like, oh, they're doing poetry or they're singing or things like that, just because it's just common. I mean, I wouldn't say it's a musical language because music should have intent. Poetry should have intent. Having a language that's just designed around that, I mean, that's just an excuse to say you're a poet. I mean, everyone who speaks Telugu can easily just say, oh, I'm a poet. I'm a poet. Yeah, they could form a random sentence and boom, they got their poetry out.
is dui, do, dui, don. But in the Dravidian languages, it has the root rend, rendu, irandu, eradu. Similarly, the root for four in Sanskrit is char or chatur, while in Dravidian it is nal. The root for singing is gan in Sanskrit and pada in Dravidian. Country is desh in Sanskrit and nad in Dravidian. Therefore, we infer that Telugu का core is principally Dravidian. सारी Dravidian languages का origin एक base से हुआ है Proto-Dravidian से. Some people believe that this Proto-Dravidian was nothing but Old Tamil, but हम वो confirm से नहीं कह सकते, so I will use the term Proto-Dravidian in this video. इसी Proto-Dravidian family से इंडिया में दो branches निकले थे, Central and Southern. Southern branch से तमिल, कन्नड़ा, तुलु और मलयालम निकले, और Central branch से
Gosh, you
निकले
speak more than I do.
कोन, तोन, पेंगो और तेलुगु. इस पूरे लैंग्वेज ब्रांच में बस एक ही लैंग्वेज है जो एक लिटरेरी लैंग्वेज बन सकी, तेलुगु. इवन तो तेलुगु संस्कृत से ओरिजिनेट नहीं हुई, तेलुगु कल्चर के एवोल्यूशन में संस्कृत का एक बहुत बड़ा रोल रहा है. तेलुगु इज लाइक अ पिरामिड जिसका बेस द्रविडियन है और उसका शिखा संस्कृत है. जिस हाउ इंग्लिश बाय बेस जर्मन है, बट उसके मेजर इन्फ्लुएंसेस ऑन द टॉप लैटिन से हैं.
Firstly, English is both the Germanic and the Latin
So he's just wanting me to say it. He's just wanting me to say it. That's why.
language. It goes two registers. For example, for any idea you take, you have two words. Those words do not mean exactly the same. For example, if I say Riga, they're not exactly the same thing as saying kingly. Or if I say fraternal, not saying brotherly. Or dark and obscure. Those words are different. It will make all the difference, speaking, for example, of the Holy Spirit, and make all the difference in the word in the poem if I wrote about the Holy Spirit or about the Holy Ghost. Since ghost is a fine, dark Saxon word, while spirit is a light Latin word.
तेलुगु में therefore हर शब्द के लिए एक संस्कृत इंस्पायर्ड वर्ड होता है और एक प्योर नेटिव तेलुगु वर्ड. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, मून इज बोथ चंद्रुडु एंड जाबिली. मूनलाइट इज चंद्रकांति बट ऑल्सो वेनिला. मॉडर्न तेलुगु द्रविडियन और संस्कृत वर्ड्स में इतने फ्लुइडली स्विच कर दिया कि शायद आप नोटिस भी नहीं करोगे.
కొంచెం మధురము కొంచెం విరహము వింతలో నుంగు నరకం కొంచెం స్వర్గము కొంచెం శార్ధము గొంతులో చాలుగరడు కొంచెం పరువము కొంచెం ప్రళయము గుండెనే కోయుగాయు కొంచెం మౌనము కొంచెం గానము ఎందుకీ ఇంద్రజాడు చిలిపిగా చూస్తావలా పెనవేస్తావిలా నిన్నే ఆపేదెలా.
चलिए, अगर अब हम डायलेक्टिकली देखें तो तेलुगु के तीन वेरिएंट्स होते हैं. एक है कोस्टल तेलुगु जिसे कहते हैं आंध्रा तेलुगु. इस वेरिएंट में संस्कृत और द्रविडियन इक्वल प्रोपोर्शन में मिक्स्ड होते हैं.
బాబు గారండి ఓ పాలగడ వచ్చి కూకొని చెప్తానా మా అయ్య చేయాలైందండి.
तेलंगाना में
So it's like Britain English, Scottish English, Irish English, Southern English, New York English, Canadian English, Californian English, African English. Oh, Ebonics. That's what you mean. So yeah, it's basically that. Oh, it's different dialects everywhere.
Telugu has a garnish of Urdu and therefore Persian.
అరే ఏం చెప్పాలరా భయ్ మస్తు పరేషాన్ ఉన్నాం. ఇంతకు ముందు షాప్ పోయి మస్తు షర్ట్ చూసిన.
And down under Rayalaseema mein, it has a punch of Tamil to it.
యో అబ్బయ్య తో షాప్ పోదాం బా. చేతి కదా ఎప్పేందే ఎవరు కొట్టినారో యాడికి పోయినా నాకు చెప్పమని చెప్తా ఉండలే.
The coastal
Sounds
variant is
angrier.
considered to be the standard variety of Telugu.
So
Now, while technically
angry.
Sanskrit
It was like, why the heck is she angry? Even her face changed to be angry. I was like, okay. Maybe.
is an external addition to Telugu. Telugu never saw Sanskrit as an impurity. In fact, it wouldn't be wrong to say that Telugu willingly absorbed a lot of Sanskrit inside itself.
కుమ్మరి ఓ కుమ్మరి జగదుత్పత్తి దారి జీగట మన్నైనా నా వంక.
The problem with extreme idiocy of Americans is their lack of perspective. I think that idiocy is just extreme everywhere, no matter where you go in the world. There's just idiocy. People always back a horse no matter what.
చల్లగా చూడు మయ్యా
But yeah, it is prevalent here in the US. I'm no exception.
तेलुगु में संस्कृत का एडिशन दो फेज प्रोसेस में हुआ था. पहले फेज में it happened through Prakrit and probably Maharashtri Prakrit. This might have happened during the Satvahana rule between 200 BC to 300 AD. इस टाइम पे वो संस्कृत वर्ड्स जो प्राकृत में absorbed हुए थे were getting transferred to Telugu. Comparison के लिए we can take a look in Malayalam. जहाँ पे
what's that
संस्कृत
game
प्राकृत
called?
के through नहीं
Telephone?
directly आई थी. This is why a brick जिसे तेलुगु में कहते हैं इट्टुका in Malayalam is called Ishtika. Ittuka is Prakrit and Ishtika is Sanskrit. The second phase happened about 700 years later. जब चालुक्य साम्राज्य के literature
Sexy man.
legend Nannaya was commissioned by the king Raja Mahendra to write the Andhra Mahabharatam. The Andhra Mahabharatam is a Telugu retelling of the Sanskrit language Mahabharata. Nannaya ji became the first of many poets and scholars who would gradually shape Telugu to become more and more like Sanskrit. New words and writing styles came into Telugu this time. For example, Andhra Mahabharatam is written in the Champu style. Champu is an old literary style which is a mix of prose and poetry. Champu आपको बहुत सारा ओडिसी म्यूजिक में भी देखने को मिलेगा. सुनने को मिलेगा. संस्कृत और द्रविडियन कल्चर्स का मिश्रण हमें तेलुगु अल्फाबेट सिस्टम में भी दिखता है. The Telugu alphabet system has letters to represent both Sanskrit and Dravidian words. For example, letters like ख, घ, झ, ठ ये सारे तेलुगु में प्राकृत और संस्कृत से आए हैं. नोटिस कीजिए कि all of these are aspirants, मतलब एंड में इनके एक ह.
I'm looking at the first one. Ka? Well, the top. The. Okay. Na or na. Ga. What? Oh, the na would be that's a crap. Yeah, they're mixing everything. I'm just looking at the letters and going like, oh, buh. No, that's a buh. That's a D. The. I can't do it. Oh, huh. That's a sa. Pa. This is another sh. Sh. Yeah. Don't say that too loud. Everyone will hear. La. Ra. Yeah. I tried learning. I still, again, why am I going to learn the text? I just need to learn to speak it. Why am I bothering?
Sound है. Pure Sanskrit से आए थे sounds like wa, nya, sh. Telugu में these letters are used exclusively to write Sanskrit words. Like Gyanam. Vowels wise ये चार भी संस्कृत से आए. Telugu has two letters to denote sa and tha, sounds that came from pure Maharashtri Prakrit. We can tell that because no other language has these sounds. On the other hand, Telugu में normal र के लिए ये अक्षर तो है ही, साथ में there are two more letters. One is called bandira, which is used to denote the Tamil sound r. It's like a double r, used in words like rampapu, like a chainsaw, and rampapu chepa, like sawfish. Oh, and also gurramu, meaning horse. Aajkal, this is just being written as normal r. There's also another letter to denote that fancy
Never
sound.
seen BoJack the Horseman.
Tamil. It also pops up in words like Kozhikode and Parram. This letter looks a lot like bandira, except notice the tiny circle. Yeah, that's new. In some inscriptions, they have also found this another mysterious letter, which we don't really know the name of. But some people estimate that this was used to pronounce r, like a triple heavy r sound. The rest of the sounds can be considered to be pure Telugu sounds. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Telugu also has two special vowels that do not exist in Hindi. One is A and another is O. These are shorter variations of A and O. Devanagari mein they are denoted sometimes like this. 1300 से 1600 के बीच का समय तेलुगु कल्चर का गोल्डन एज माना जाता है. इसी दौरान विजयनगर एम्पायर पावर में था and they commissioned Sanskrit scholars to write poetry and epics. What started with the Chalukya dynasty was taken up further in the Vijayanagar Empire. Because Vijayanagar kingdom was so huge, there was a lot of interaction that happened between Karnataka and Andhra. In fact, until the fall of the Vijayanagar Empire, Telugu and Kannada को लिखने के लिए same script ही use होता था. If you look at the Kannada script and then at the Telugu script, they might look identical. Okay, maybe not as similar as Bangla and Ohomia, but pretty similar. The Kannada script is kind of like a cursive form of Telugu script. जैसे अकबर के दरबार में नवरत्न होते थे ना, वैसे राजा कृष्ण देवराय के किंगडम में 8 मस्त टैलेंटेड लोग थे, called अष्टदिग्गज लोग, meaning the 8 elephants. इसी दौरान तेलुगु कल्चर में इंट्रोड्यूस हुई थी the concept of अवधानम. Avadhanam is a kind of poetic जुगलबंदी, except it is not 2 people but 9 people involved. The main guy is the Ashtadhyayi, the poet who performs the Avadhanam. He indulges in these linguistic games, almost nerdy poetic puzzles that the panel comes up with, the panel of 8 other intellectual poets. The questions can range from serious, witty, funny to even bizarre, mathematical, and even about current affairs. Sounds a lot like UPSC.
సోనియా, థెరీసా, మండేలా, గాంధీజీ ఈ 4 పదాలని రామాయణార్థంలో శార్దూల వృత్తంలో చెప్పండి.
వాల్లభ్యం గును వీడి వచ్చితి మహో వాసో నియామ్య స్థితిన్ సల్లంగా గడతేరి సారి.
See, this is possible when like the language is just designed for rhyming. So you can have something like this. Like for me, I think like spitballing a rap, it would be like just off the top of their head, I think would be a lot more, I don't know. I guess when you're given rules on what to rap on would be just as difficult. Like, oh, it has to be about this, about a certain topic. Still as interesting, but at the same time, the language rhymes on almost every ending word. So it kind of makes it more simplistic in the long run to where they can do that. And it would become a game to them. It's just like, how can I make this as intricate as I possibly can?
Something that is very unique to the Telugu language is its gender system. If you have watched a How Language Shapes Gender video, you already know this. Jahan North mein languages have masculine-feminine categorization and South mein masculine-feminine neuter, Telugu goes a whole different route by picking masculine and non-masculine categories. For example, Rahul is going is Rahul Veltunnadu, but Radha is going is Radha Velutondi. Just like how the cat is going would be Pilli Velutondi. So Pilli and Radha are treated the same way. But guys, this was about singular nouns. If we look at plurals, something changes. Consider these three examples. Boys are going, girls are going, and cats are going. It's Abbailu Veltunnaru, Ammailu also Veltunnaru. But jab cats ki baat aati hai, Pillulu Veltunnai. Look what just happened. Telugu now started categorizing words into human and non-human, not masculine and non-masculine. Therefore, Telugu uses masculine and non-masculine for singular nouns and human and non-human for plural nouns. This makes the Telugu gender system the most unique one in India. संस्कृत के साथ इंटरेक्शन के बाद तेलुगु काफी सॉफ्ट इन हो गया, वेरी मच लाइक बंगाली. ओल्ड तेलुगु में काफी सारे रेट्रोफ्लेक्स साउंड्स थे, लाइक ट ड ड, और काफी सारे कॉन्सोनेंट क्लस्टर्स भी थे जो कि टाइम के साथ डिसॉल्व हो गए. फॉर एग्जांपल, द वर्ड फॉर टुडे वाज नेंडु, दैट गॉट softened to नेडु. Similarly, the word for tortoise, tambelu, is today called tabelu. Old Telugu also had a lot of consonant ending words, which modern Telugu kind of softened by adding vowels. So, flowers के लिए जो word था pulled became pulu, and flies के लिए the word eagle became eagalu. Poets love Telugu not because there are so many vowels that make it easy to rhyme, but also how many ways you can create new words. English और हिंदी में एक verb के बस कुछ ही transformations हो सकते हैं. For example, eat और खाने के लिए there is ate, eaten, eating, खाया, खाते, खिलाते. You can count them on your fingertips. To create more complex tenses, we add words like had or raha or chuka. Telugu mein, instead of using such support words, the root verb itself is transformed. So, for example, मैं खाता हूँ is tintaanu, मैं खा रहा हूँ is tintunnaanu, मैं खा लिया is tinnaanu, but मैं already खा लिया is tinesaanu, मैं नहीं खाया is tinaledu, खाओ is tinu, मत खाओ is tinakku, खाकर is tini, खाने के दौरान is tintu, ना खाने के दौरान is tinakka, and we are just getting started. Because of this reason, many words are elegantly similar to
No, I'm having trouble with Ghana, Gaunga. What are the other words for like eating, ate, going to eat? It's just like no. And the fact that there's a whole new word for everything. Deaf, mute, the mutes. You'll be the mute. You'll go there and just do like. Just like, I that's it. That's all. Oh my gosh. I hate it. But that's the thing. I never learned to write. Like, you can't ask me to type anything up in Spanish. I have no clue how. For the longest time, I thought hola was spelled with an O at the beginning. I didn't know it started with an H. I thought it started with an O because hola. Hola. That's just how I thought. I mean, I could speak it. I never learned how to write it. Because that's the thing. My mind works for like speaking and listening. Well, more so listening than speaking, because I can't get my tongue around certain words in Hindi even. So it becomes more of a problem for me. And then especially when I'm seeing it, I think I get lost in the nuances of like the caricatures. I mean, I'm dyslexic. I can barely read English. I can barely read English, but it's just like, it is nice to see it and be like, oh, I recognize this. I remember after I started learning Hindi and being in India, I was like trying to read like construction signs and things like that. It was fun.
Each other in Telugu. The rules for this verb transformation is also not algorithmically decided. Telugu ensures that sounds only mix in a way that the result sounds nice and musical. For example, take the verb for arranging or organizing, kudurcha. Arrange karo is verb plus u, so kudurchu. Makes sense. But arrange karke is verb plus I, so it should be kudurchi. But Telugu finds that unaesthetic, so it becomes kudirchi. Mat arrange karo is verb plus akka, so it should be kudurchaka. But Telugu aligns the vowel of the verb with the suffix, making it kudarchaka. Take another example. अगर हम सारे द्रविडियन लैंग्वेजेस में ये phrase train to Varanasi और train to Kolkata को compare करें, we find that only Telugu changes the word for to, ku या ki based on the ending vowel of the place name. बाकी सारे languages में this word stays constant. This tendency of languages to adjust sounds so that the result is aesthetic is called vowel harmony. And believe it or not, India में तेलुगु के अलावा बस Bengali is the only language जिसमें हमें vowel harmony दिखता है. So Bengali में for example it's आमी शिखी but तुमी शेखो, आमी कोरी तुमी कोरो. इस रूल के वजह से Telugu words are fine tuned to sound musical. Therefore, अगर हमें summarize करना हो that why is Telugu so musical, the first reason is the ajanta nature of Telugu. Every word ends with a vowel and so they are easy to rhyme. The
And
second
rewriting
is that there
the
are multiple
words.
registers for Telugu to borrow from. So for a same object, Telugu can have a Sanskrit inspired word, a native Telugu inspired word, a Persian inspired word, a Tamil inspired word and so on. Then there are multiple verb transformations as we saw. From the same root verb, you can create almost
I have my English exam after 3 days and I'm here learning Telugu. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what you're here for. That's what you're here for. Yeah, you're not here for English. I mean, I'm the last person. My wife speaks better English than I do, and I grew up in the US. That's how bad the US is.
thousand forms. And lastly, there is vowel harmony to ensure that every sound sounds nice. This is what gives Telugu such a Lego-like property that it makes possible for something like Dwakshar poetry to exist. Dwakshari is a poetic challenge where the limit is to use just 2 letters or 2 sounds. Let's listen to a modern-day rendition of a Dwakshari poem in Telugu where only the sounds ma and na are used.
మనమున నన్ను మానమున్న నీ మననం మానను మనమున నీ మననమ్మును నేమమ్మున మానను మానను నీ మననమ్మును మానను నీ మననమ్మును మనము మన్ను మన్నైనా మానను నీ మననమ్మును.
India में बहुत सारे states हैं where non-natives sometimes get bullied to speak the language, but you'll never see that happen in Telugu lands. Telugu has never been forced on anyone. Maybe it is because the language के DNA में ही इतना सारा diversity है. From Sanskrit to Maharashtri to Tamil. Out of 44 Filmfare Awards for the best actress in Telugu, you can understand how accepting Telugus are from the fact that only 4 of
So I'm going to be honest. It sounds, I would rate like Telugu as one of the hardest languages to learn. One of the, because even as he was like doing like the, oh, this is how it would be for like the plural context, and I was just like, oh, okay, that makes sense. You're just adding something onto the end of the word. The fact that it's also having to change the context of the word entirely, not and adding on to the end, just makes it so much more complicated, especially for someone getting into it, because most people come from languages where you'll go like, whether it's has a sex connotation where like oh, you end with an if you're female, or oh if you're male, like in Spanish, or in Hindi it's also got its ma and me, right? E and a. E and a, yeah. In Hindi, it's got the E and a. English doesn't really have that. But at the same time, you can understand how going from those would be easier, but then you go to like Telugu, which changes entirely. It would be incredibly difficult to get into. Absolutely difficult. Oh, I heard Telugu rap first time. Yeah, me too. Me too. The funny thing is I think I could rap like that. I wouldn't know what I'm saying, but I could probably mimic it.
them were born in Telugu lands. Telugu culture manages to be extremely practical while also being creative and innovative. They do really well in technical exams like IIT JEE, and they produce some of the largest number of software engineers in this country. As a result of pushing their logical side to the extreme, they also express their imaginative and creative side in their movies. I feel that this wit, willingness to think outside of the box, tolerance and optimism has helped Telugus immensely. It has made the culture thrive so well in the West, and it has given us great Indian leaders like Sarojini Naidu ji, P.V. Narasimha Rao ji, sportsmen like V.V.S. Lakshman, Sania Mirza, P.V. Sindhu, and philosophers like Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan. In fact, do you know that our Indian flag was also designed by a Telugu legend, Pingali Venkaya? And not to forget musicians like S.P. Balasubramanian garu. And as the man himself, Krishna Devaraya, rightly said, Desha Bhashalandu Telugu truly is Lessa. స్నేహితులు ఐఎమ్ సో హ్యాపీ విత్ దిస్ వీడియో. ఈ వీడియో నా కోసం చాలా చాలా స్పెషల్గా ఉంది. బికాస్ ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ నా బర్త్ ప్లేస్. నేను వైజాగ్ లో పుట్టాను. క్లాస్ 1 వరకు వైజాగ్ లో చదివాను. నాకు అప్పుడు చాలా మంది తెలుగు ఫ్రెండ్స్ ఉన్నారు. అండ్ ఐ కుడ్
Yeah, I mean, I was joking a lot in the beginning, but I can see, like, that's the thing, after going through all of it, it's got to be incredibly complex language. I think going, like, learning that as your first language and then going to other languages, it'll be like, oh, this is easy. Or, well, maybe not, because you need to completely change how your mind thinks about words. But after that, you can basically learn everything else. But at the same time, it's just it's crazy. It is crazy. I probably could never pick it up. I could never pick it up. I'd probably learn the word for eat and place or drive or locate, like a name for a location, and I'd read it several times and be like, or just show the location on the. But yeah, that. Again, it is a lot of information. I could probably never learn that language, if I'm honest. I mean, I just don't have the talent. I don't have the talent when it comes to like taking in that kind of information. I mean, I wish I had the ability to speak everything in the world or to understand even everything in the world. I mean, I have an ear for language, but at the same time, it takes a while for me to adapt and get used to it. Because I remember understanding my French, Chinese, and German roommates when they'd speak their native tongue. I could understand what they were saying, and I just speak back in English because it was just my brain could pick it up, and I got to know them, so I could understand just by how they would move and things like that. But to actually pick up a language is just insane. English is easy language as a Telugu. Yeah. I mean, English is, I think, like one of the most backwards languages, because I think most languages have like the noun before the verbs. Like you have the noun before what you're describing. In English, you'll start describing something and then you mention what you're describing. Like it's the short yellow bus in English, but in like Spanish, it's like the bus is yellow and short. You have the descriptors after the actual thing you're talking about.
You guys got a video? It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, wait on that.